right, everybody. Welcome to the Hole in the Wall, Hair of the Dog podcast. This is the first episode here in the green room, Hole in the Wall, Austin, Texas, 78705.
2538 Guadalupe.
Yeah. We can give that away. You can't give addresses away on most podcasts.
I almost said the date, but then I didn't remember it off the top of my head.
No, I think it's March 12th.
March 12th.
Oh,
Second day of
2020.
That's what we should talk about. Steak and blowjob day is coming up soon. 2 days.
That's what I need on top of a made-up holiday is another made-up holiday.
like a really made
That's
up
the beauty of it,
Yeah.
is that it's just openly a made-up
an
holiday.
incredibly transparent made up.
Like, right, and it's like, okay, we put up with your made-up holiday. What do people do? What do lesbians do on Steak and Blowjob Day?
I mean, lesbians can
I saw that.
Eat
Did
steak.
you see that Imager post that was like,
Steak and tacos.
just works a little different.
blowjobs are good for your health? And then the response was like, we're lesbians.
Just, sorry, you're going to die early then.
So, this is a podcast that we run very professionally. It's the Hole in the Wall way. Started an hour late, and it still might not be recording correctly. But
No, it's recording.
And we said lesbians 30
Well-
seconds into the podcast.
You know what? I'm going to stake my
As is
reputation
tradition.
on it, because if it's not recording, nobody will ever hear it.
yay!
Nobody will ever know.
Yeah, so the first episode, we don't even know if that'll exist. I'd like to put it out, but I don't know. This might be the...
What were the
first-
technical issues with the first episode?
It sucked, but it didn't suck. I mean, I can't imagine it's going to be any better than this is about to be.
Just
So,
become better. Just
That's what we're
choose
trying.
a starting point.
That's what we're trying.
And
here.
we'll improve. It'll just
It has
improve
to
on itself.
evolve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
So-
all trying to get
yeah.
up to your level.
I am Campbell, and I am kind of pretending to host this. Let's go around the table and talk to Mike Nicolai.
Hey, yeah.
He's Mike. He's a guy. He does the booking and stuff for Hole in the Wall. So we'll talk about bands coming up for South by. Oh yeah, this is the pre-South by Southwest
Oh, yes.
podcast.
Oh,
So we're
yes.
gonna make fun of band names or something.
Oh, yeah. People from L.A.
And our second engineer,
I'm Jeremy Jenkins.
Jeremy Jenkins.
Barback. Occasional door guy.
Dude.
All around wonderful fella.
Well, we'll
Asshole.
talk about that.
That was a very generous introduction.
For myself.
Another barback, not an engineer yet.
Bobby B in the corner.
Bobby B. Bobby Baen.
Holding down the
Robert. And of course, our returning champion, Kris Guthridge. How are you, Chris?
Woo! What's up? Hey! How's it going?
Oh, yes.
And Steve, our fourth engineer, is
What a
not,
bitch.
not here. He just left.
It's a very technical podcast.
He's
for
so-
He's really into ducking out of the podcast, isn't
Yeah, he's real flaky. I mean,
Did he dodge out of an... Oh, because you almost did the other one the other day, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened to that one?
He didn't show up in
Does
the...
anybody
This
know what
podcast
he
is on
went to
shaky
see?
ground.
The
He
show
went. He went to go see Fluffy.
He went to go see Enrique Iglesias because again,
Not Gabriel.
when he told me
I
Gabriel
can be
Iglesias,
your
my first
hero.
thought was Enrique, and I was like, what did you tour with him or something? Like, why would you go see him?
Dude,
And
I'm
he-
pretty sure he straight up said Enrique Iglesias.
He probably
See,
did.
maybe we should verify.
I really thought
it.
that's where he was. I didn't even think of him.
Yeah.
Steve does like
Him and E-Dog.
he does like Enrique Iglesias. I know that for a fact.
Who
Whether
doesn't?
he's going or
Wait,
not.
do you not like Enrique?
Yeah.
He's going to see Fluffy because South by is in full
Gotta
effect, man. Celebrities are in
Is
town.
something you shouldn't say on a podcast.
Love that dead air.
Hey, man.
So what's going on? What's going on, Campbell?
Say anything. No FCC regulation.
Well, I want to get
Fuck the police.
First things first. I want to get this out of the way. Chris, I need you to talk about what's up with you sleeping with your socks on.
What's up with me sleeping with my
Is this
socks
the
on?
argument against sleeping with your socks on or not?
No,
sleeping
no,
with
it's
your
just
socks on?
before we came here, I had a nice little nap on the couch, but I neglected to take my socks off. And when I sleep with my socks on, I wake up feeling like I'm coming out of a coma. Like, I wake up feeling, like, really groggy. It takes me a good, 20 minutes. to
Specifically because of the socks.
Specifically because of the socks. If I sleep without my socks on, bare feet, I'm refreshed, I'm awake, I am energized when I wake up. But if I sleep with my socks on, it feels like it feels like I got hit with like rhino tranquilizer or something, and I wake up feeling like a train hit me.
I'm only getting to the point in my life where I wear less socks, but I was so pro sock as a child all the time that the leg hair, and this is straight up confession time, the leg hair on my leg stops at sock level, and I just have flesh socks from there. Just no hair. Hairless from like 2 inches above the ankle just down. Yeah, I don't even grow hair.
Were you ever
the opposite as a
taken
child?
to task for that when you were a kid?
I never even thought about it, you know?
Anyone tell you shouldn't
Shouldn't wear your socks off? No, I wasn't at all. And actually, I remember when, even in my 20s, I had to learn the lesson of that you shouldn't leave your socks on when you're having sex.
Oh, yeah.
That was an issue for me at first. I finally
lady tell
had,
you
had a lovely woman tell me.
You got all the way down to socks, and you.
I just leave them. I just will leave them on.
Yeah.
I will often just leave them.
I mean,
on.
there's a lot of dangers with that too. See, I mean, there's the same kind of thing with the sleeping. I feel like my feet don't have a chance to breathe, and so my brain is slowly suffocating while I nap. If you're having sex with your socks on, there's a static electricity risk. You know?
That's it. It blows me up. It makes me a sexual beast.
Oh yeah.
Wearing socks
keeps all that oxygen.
Wearing socks naked almost killed me one time, actually.
Oh, really?
It's the second part of my best story. It's the worst part of my best story ever.
Well, just tell the worst part.
I'll just tell the worst half of it.
story.
Save that for the good.
In Michigan, I don't know. I grew up in Michigan. I don't know if this is a thing in Texas, maybe, but we have like those radiators that are just like metal.
Like a classic movie radiator.
Yeah, they're like, it was like really long. It took up like this entire wall, and it's all metal. And what we would do is in the winter, you lay your clothes out for the day on the
That's how
radiator
you get it all warmed
to
up.
warm it up.
I used to do that too.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
This is how they operate in the North.
So I put my socks on, and I guess I was naked, or maybe I was in my underoos. I was maybe 5. The first part of the story takes place when I'm 2. Then you go forward 3 years.
God, you peaked early. This is your greatest story.
So hardwood floors, socks. I'm running through the dining room where the radiator is to get my clothes. My mother is asleep. My father and sister are not home. I don't know why. But I slip, and my chin drops on the radiator, and
Your head fucking explodes.
pretty much. I mean, I didn't, like, since there was no adult around, I didn't cry or anything. I just knew that it was really bad.
Were you, like, in
And I
shock?
went to, I must have been in shock, and I went and showed my mom. I was like, Mom, I hurt my chin. And my mom woke up, and like the look on her face was just like sheer horror because she saw that my chin was completely split open. I still have a scar. I have facial hair.
And then that's when you
So
panicked.
just
When you saw Mom panic.
to be clear, you've since the very beginning, you've always been accident prone.
Yeah, well, the first part of the story is me falling out of a window.
Don't give it away. Don't give it away. We're saving that story.
That's just my, that's my
You heard
pickup
that.
line.
Save the
You just took out the climax.
Save the
Yeah.
prequel for later.
Yeah. Well, this isn't even the good part of the worst part of the story.
This is the worst part
But yeah,
of the worst part of
I
the
started
story.
bawling, and we went to the doctor. I had to get stitches, but then when I went to get stitches, I had a flashback to when I was 2 years old and was falling out of the window, and like had a full-on breakdown, and they had to strap me down and like do all this crazy stuff.
No offense to your parents, but how did a 2-year-old fall out of a window?
Parenting was different.
Life finds a way.
Parenting wasn't really parenting back then. It was no. My parents were great.
Sure. We loved seeing them.
You're
God
a
bless them.
fantastic storyteller.
Yeah.
It
No,
just
that's
really
actually.
painted the picture.
It was before the helicopter parenting thing, I guess. And,
Yeah, it's the socks.
What the hell is helicopter?
Don't put your kids in socks. I think that's the lesson that we
it's
learned.
where parents, it's
Dude,
the name
you're hover.
for when parents, hover over their, and like don't let their kids go anywhere out of their sight ever.
That's how it is
I had a
modern
lot of
times.
like spinning involved.
There's no letting your kids out of your
I don't
sight
think
anymore.
there's like any more sexual predators than there were back then.
Same number of sexual predators.
Maybe
number of
more,
sexual
yeah.
They're just more
predators,
visible now.
but- Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this
So-
segment's perfectly into a segment that I want to introduce to the
Segues.
show. Yeah, sorry. Segues into a
Whatever.
segment.
Nerd.
Edit that out.
Segue to
Mary, edit, make a note. The new segment I would like to introduce is called "Why I Hated Campbell When I First Met Him,"
Because
and
we all did.
I think Jeremy might be able to talk a little bit about it.
I did. We had a drummer audition the other day where you rubbed my guitar player the wrong way. I think,
You gotta stop.
and not in in a good way. I mean, yeah. Usually you rub people in a good way. I've seen you give quite a few rubs.
So, well, let me explain the segment. I have this recurring thing in my life where everyone about 2 weeks to a month in is like, don't get me wrong, you're like my favorite person now, but when I first met you, I hated you for such and such reasons. Usually it's just...
No one ever said that they're your favorite.
Well, I completely turned around and now I think you're aces.
I'm not saying that they believe that, but they're trying to lessen the blow of the horrible thing they're about to say about me, which is like, you were a fucking asshole when I met you. And it's not
Just
so much...
generally, or is it always the same sort of traits that you have that make people hate you?
Well, I have a very dry,
There's a lot of
sarcastic...
things wrong.
You're sarcastic, yes.
There's a
you're
lackadaisical smugness to you.
And the thing is, people, other people who have that same sense of humor don't necessarily pick up on it. And I feel the same way. When I meet someone who has the same sense of humor as me, I'm like, that guy's an asshole. But then I usually like...
I have a very dear friend of mine who has the exact same problem, but he usually doesn't get over the hump where they become his favorite person. And there had to be some point in my life where I was just like, man, you realize that it's not the rest of the world.
Yeah.
It's you. Like, it's not everybody else on the planet.
Right.
It is you.
Yeah,
Like,
I realized that a long time ago. And this is why I think we should make it a segment, because everyone needs to, clear the air. But
you have a lackadaisical smugness.
yeah, so I want to ask guests. I want to get Alex on, who is a former GM here. Him and I, well, he didn't like me for a while. He probably still hates that I'm a manager now. I'm not ashamed to say it, but
He likes everybody. It's just...
yeah, it's just me.
Well, Alex is not, without his kind of porcupineness that I think people initially meet.
Right, and he can have a really dry, sarcastic.
I would say
sense
we
of
all
humor,
have a
like,
bit
all
of
have-
that
yeah,
at home.
Alex and I would just go down these holes where, like, we were joking, but, like, it got to there would be points in a conversation where we're like, wait, are you being serious, or are you joking?
Right, is this about to be a fight?
And then, like, he would get offended because, like, I took it too far, or, like, whatever, or, like, he didn't know I was joking. Yeah, so...
You were dancing.
Yeah, it was...
I relate to
Figuring
you.
it out.
I think you and I are
it's-
more alike than not alike.
Yeah, I think it's the sexual tension, mainly, between
It's-
me and most other men.
I think we both have a very, poking the bear quality about
Right.
us, where we just... It should stop well before we
Right.
let it stop.
Right. If I have caffeine in me, that definitely happens. If not, I probably just won't talk to you, but...
I just have to pee when I have caffeine.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's... Any other reasons why anybody hates me? Let's say I just want to get that
Oh,
out.
let's just air
No.
our grievances.
We
on
can talk
Campbell.
enough about that.
We need to get some a female guest in here to
Hold on,
talk about
we feel like we're just skimming
about how
over
they
this.
fucking.
No,
We
women
could go
love you.
way more
No,
in
women-
depth about how awful you are.
Oh yeah, big time.
Just
Women
I
fucking
feel
love
like
you.
we're just...
Well, that'll be the main
We'll just save
focus
the
of the
meat.
podcast.
Can we just make that a podcast?
Yeah. Well, it's our third spin-off. We already have plans, along with Steve.
The Why I Hate Campbell show.
So Steve will be on hopefully most of the time, and he told me not to put my hand in front of my mouth when I start talking, which I just did, but that's because I just
In
drank.
case you didn't see that at home.
Oh, I've seen a pattern with Steve so far. He's never gonna make it.
No,
Steve is a bear poker
Hey.
too, man.
Oh God, no one pokes
Him
like
and
fucking
Kris
Steve.
got up and were here by noon for the first podcast. That was impressive.
I did not know that.
I don't do noon.
Yeah, that was impressive that we were all here by noon.
I'd rather leave out why I did not make it, but I did not make it.
Let's actually talk
Did it have to do
about
with your
hole in the
No.
Steve is trying to get the abandoned Jack in the Box next to Hole in the Wall turned into a Waffle House, and he's actually in talks with the CEO.
This
of
is
Waffle
important.
House.
That'd be so great.
Oh,
And
God.
This is important.
I want to
We've had-
talk about that.
Yeah, do they know about have we spoken about the Jack in the Box at all?
No.
So there's a Jack in the Box next door to our bar that went out of business almost a year ago at this point. And since then, it's prime location right next to the college on the corner. You could not ask for a nicer place to have lots of foot traffic. But it has been this abandoned shithole for a year
It's
that has
not
been...
completely abandoned.
It is-
There's been some squatters.
There's a lot of riffraff that have been living inside of
Right.
that Jack in the Box.
And
for a
originally
long
they
time.
left the drive-through window unlocked.
Just open.
And
all the electricity was going inside.
A bunch of homeless folks were climbing through the window and living in the walk-in freezer for
As
a
you
while.
do.
And we've called the cops a million times, and they don't seem to
Do we?
care.
We don't do that. We don't call the cops.
Well,
We ain't rats.
I ain't no rat. Maybe you called the cops.
Yeah.
Stitches get stitches.
I actually haven't. I mean, unless I had to. But
I don't think we have. I mean, generally those people leave us alone, and if they don't, we ask them to.
right. But yeah, we're Bo is one of the homeless folks that wanders around. He'll be appearing on the podcast.
At some point, so we should just go we should do the podcast outside wherever he is. God, he will rant for 3 hours. You'll have to edit that down.
Yeah, we'll have to put a drool shield over the mic.
I'll skip that day.
Good old Bo.
Can't deal with the smell.
So I don't know, you guys want to talk about
Getting
bands?
some Waffle House. Let's
House.
wait, keep going with this
No,
Waffle
well,
House.
we'll do that next time when Steve's on.
Okay. All right.
'Cause he has the
Because
inside scoop.
yeah, he has the inside scoop.
He's actually been talking on Twitter with the
Still,
CEO.
hashtag Waffle House Hole in the Wall 2016. Holler back at us.
Yeah. Let's make fun of band names.
You were saying like you wanted to maybe just list all the bands, or is that too many?
Well,
That's a lot of bands.
Let's just go through it. Let's
Mike,
see.
I don't
Waves.
know anything about who's playing, and I don't really care, but
All right, there's 120 bands playing.
who are you
This is
excited
this
about?
week. This is South by Southwest. 120 bands playing.
I'm excited about a lot of stuff, but there's a band, the Woggles, that are really great. There's a band
Woggle's
called
a fine band name.
Gorilla Toss that's really great.
Gorilla
Toss.
Toss.
Yeah, they're from Boston.
You know it's good if it just inherently makes you
There's
chuckle.
something else, man. They're really something else.
Let's see.
Lots of
Sunday,
bands.
Cumwave is playing.
Cumwave.
It's the best band name.
Wave, which might be the best band name ever.
They have to be good with the boldness in their band name. They
Yeah.
have-
on the same bill with the Disease.
Oh no, you do not want to
DIZZ.
come wave next to a disease.
That
Right.
sounds dangerous.
yeah.
That's
Maybe I
come
should wear
wave.
one of those
is a
life-size
ridiculous
rubbers,
name.
like in
Naked
Gun.
Yeah, Naked Gun reference.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's crazy that I'm just looking at
120
this
bands.
list. Yeah,
What do you
there's-
think about the Jimmy Smith system
Oh, I play in that band.
with Mike Nicolai?
Yeah.
That's a good
Those guys
band.
fucking suck.
Jimmy used to be in the Gourds, and me and him have this goofy duo thing we do. 2-Inch Astronaut, I like that name too.
That's a good name.
Car Seat Headrest.
That's a terrible name.
Car seat.
That's the laziest name I've ever heard.
You're making
I
this
like
up.
it. I like it.
Car seat headrest? That's no
it's the
2-inch
same
astronaut.
shit.
They're no 2-inch astronaut, I'll tell you what. Let me peek on this.
Oh yeah, take a look. It's a blistering.
Downtown Boys.
Wait, I like Horse Jumper of Love.
Yeah, that's good.
Horse Jumper of Love.
Diet Sig.
Diet Sig. Yeah.
Car seat
Yeah, there's 2
headrest.
days in a row where there's 29 bands playing.
Soft
Each day.
Fangs.
29. Do you think
In
that
one
we
day.
have the most bands playing out of anywhere?
I don't know.
Out of any venue?
It's gotta be competitive. Yeah, like
Do you think we're the greatest bar ever of all time?
I reckon. You know, I mean, I've never sat down and thought about it.
That's good.
I've never been to
This
another
is a
bar.
great band
Just,
name.
you know.
Ed Woods.
Yeah.
I like that. Very simple.
Kind of just
You know, that is my middle name. Woods.
Woods?
Woods is my middle.
Woods is your middle name?
Yeah.
It's a last
After
name.
Tiger.
That's you and
Rest in peace.
I'm sure that matches up timeline wise.
Taka Woods, y'all.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
He was like golfing at 6 when you were born. But your dad knew he was going to be huge.
Yeah. His wiener.
Hookah Hay.
Okay, hey, is right here.
Yeah, I've seen them before.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff. I mean, I've never heard of a lot of these people, so
Yeah.
it'll be the first time. You know,
Basketball shorts.
Oh, I
Yeah,
love
that's a
basketball shorts.
it's a great band.
You wear basketball
Basketball-
shorts all the time.
Well, yeah. And also, they're a really fun band.
Are they good?
Yeah, they got like songs about pizza and stuff like that.
Are they pizza punk?
Yeah, pizza punk. It's
Hey,
like just some goofball punk rock. They're really
It's
fun.
like pizza punk. It's hard to like when you're watching a band play and be that happy and singing about goofy shit. It's hard to be hateful towards them, But then the other half of me is just like, these guys are like practicing in their house. They're writing these songs about pizza. Like, what is going on behind the scenes? Like, there with these pizza.
Well,
punk
look at
bands.
us right now. Like, that's all we have going on for us. We're having fun. But I guess we didn't prepare at all for any of this.
Ghost Wolves are playing. I love Ghost
Ghost Wolves are great. Yeah, John Doe of the Great Band X is playing. P-Lander Z.
Bad Tiger! Too many mics!
P-Lander's gonna, Yellow's gonna
P-Lander
be
Yellow?
pissed. We took out all his
I'm
murals.
sure he knew, right?
Well, I guess his artwork is on all the East Side games.
I believe if you get paid to do art in a restaurant, you know that might not sustain
You're not
for
getting
all
royalties.
time.
You're not getting...
You know that might not always be there. It's not hanging in the Louvre.
Should be.
Flannel Mouth. That's a pretty good name, too.
Flannel mouth, I like that.
It's like aluminum foil mouth.
the courtesy tier?
Yeah.
Courtesy.
Oh,
tier?
it's TIER, though.
Oh.
Oh, well, that's probably a misspelling.
No,
on
that's
my
just
part.
next level, man. They're just adding it in. Like you can't.
I like the courtesy tier.
Courtesy
That's
tier.
good. That's
I give those every now.
yeah,
and
that was a trick passed on from father to son for generations in my family. Is the always carry tweezers in your pocket and either pull out a pube or pull out a nose hair if you need to cry.
That's how y'all got laid. That's what you're saying.
I think it's mainly that's how you prevented divorce.
This is how the Campbell line remained.
That's the only way my namesake.
You were able to
made
pull
it.
a tear in a sad movie.
Have you guys ever seen Yuppie Pricks?
Yeah.
Yes.
I've sort of... They're a band I thought I would have seen by now, but I never seen them.
Yeah, they've been around a
It's
while.
very
I-
pizza punk band-ish.
I kind of know the concept of it, but I've never actually seen it.
Yeah, and if you know the concepts,
What is the
Sounds
concept?
great.
They're just dressed like yuppie pricks, and then they sing about life in their yuppie worlds. That is
Yeah.
like, and it's just
Being
like,
rich
but
and
it's
cocaine.
hardcore. It's just straight hardcore punk.
So it's like the last 10 years of Weezer, or
Yeah,
No.
it's exactly
No.
like
It's punk
The
rock,
Red
not
Album.
garbage music.
ooh, oh
No,
yeah.
let's not get into whether or
Rob
not
hates
Weezer had
Weezer.
a
Rob
good...
seems like
He hates Weezer.
he seems like a
Who
person
hates
who
the
would be the
Blue
biggest
Album?
Weezer fan ever.
I know,
and
he
hates
dresses
Weezer.
like he is.
Maybe that's why he
Yeah.
hates. Maybe that's why he hates Weezer so much. Is because like we're trying to put
They're
him in a
harshing on
box.
his style.
Trying to
Come
put
on.
him in a box.
You can't argue the power of the Blue
I got a
Album.
friend up in Minneapolis who's gone on not one but two, I believe, Weezer cruises. Yeah, and he,
Oh my god.
He said his story.
Yeah, Doug Benson does.
Woozes?
Yeah, Doug Benson does
Wheezes?
that every year.
Cruise Weezers.
There's some
I feel
Weezer cruises
I
and
feel like
there's-
they should be able to combine those words somehow. Cruisers,
Queezers.
Queezers, Queezers. There you go. Thank you, Chris. I feel like it was.
There's
there
also
somewhere.
311 cruises.
Yeah. A
People-
lot of ganja on that
God.
boat.
Wait, that was
People-
yesterday. 311 day.
People love 311.
Yeah, it's like fucking Fish or
It's like a thing.
Dave Matthews Band is like if you can smoke weed and dance around and be
I
White.
had a buddy that went to
It's hard to be white,
Vegas during a 311 convention, and like at least 20 times he was at somewhere eating something or playing something, and somebody was like,
Oh,
"Oh,
God.
your door getting open."
Somebody hit the.
Your
Closest
alarm.
to the door, Cam.
See if somebody's getting it. So at least 20 times somebody asked him, "Hey, you love 311?" And he had to just be like, "No, absolutely I do not." Why would you ask me
Get a
that?
shirt that says that.
He said
I
it took
don't
him half the
love
week to
311.
figure out what was happening. Why do
he
people-
didn't know he was on a.
You know, at first, he wasn't on a cruise. It was just in Vegas. So it just took him
They
forever
do
to figure
that?
out.
They sell you cruise tickets and not tell you like, oh, by the way,
No,
this
this
is a
was
By the
just
way,
a
this is Star
convention.
Trek cruise. You're gonna be
311 convention in Las Vegas, not on a cruise ship.
Oh, okay.
That would
I got
suck.
distracted.
If
by
they
that
throw you in on like a cruise for like,
Oh, this is a Paula Deen cruise.
yeah, what is the
There's
worst
a
thing
lot
you
of
could?
cooking going.
Do you think that's what white culture is, though? Like, if there is such thing as white culture?
Oh, it's
311
W11.
cruises?
311 cruises, Dave Matthews Fish concerts, like...
No, 311 cruise might be the best analogy for white culture.
I was just talking to a buddy of mine today who was talking about white people, and he was saying that
Room full of white people, by the way.
it's Jimmy Buffett and stuff. Like a Jimmy Buffett bar, with where there's he's playing live on TV and everybody's drinking tropical drinks. That's the white.
That's the
Yeah.
white culture.
Yeah.
I would like to say in argument.
Jimmy
of
Buffett's
even,
a lot cooler than his fans are.
They do that in Ireland. They
Yeah.
do that in Scotland.
whatever.
love
In
the world.
full argument against that, I was at a store the other day and Cheeseburger in Paradise came on the radio, and the thought of being in that store long enough to hear the whole Cheeseburger in Paradise was so overwhelming that I left the store like 2 bars into it. I couldn't handle
I
it.
feel you, man.
See, I've
You can do it.
gotten to the point where I really try to think about why, like, bands like Nickelback and Dave Matthews Band and stuff get hate, and it's not necessarily because of the band. It's because of the fans.
Represent, yeah.
Like, you hate the people that like the music, therefore you hate the music, and I try to look at it objectively. But
Well, and I think
it's
people
hard.
have this sense, maybe some people that hate those bands have the sense that the band is actively courting that type of audience, which they despise, so that they're,
Right, well, that's what Nickelback does. The guy from, what's his name? Chad Kroeger.
ICP
But it's
would
not
be a
always the
great
case.
example.
You can't always choose your audience, but
A lot of those people are like
Well, and-
music scientists.
Whatever, those guys are from the fucking 90s and they're still touring and making money. They know what they're doing.
good for them.
And
Good for them, man.
Fucking Avril Lavigne.
Playing music. That's such a difficult career choice to make. And to be able to do anything out of it
Oh, we might have mic
is
disturbance.
amazing.
Hey, were any of you guys here during the photo shoot earlier?
I saw a little bit of it.
Today?
Yeah,
No.
I got here at the end of it. There was a lot of people in here.
Yeah, let's give the listeners an inside scoop to the
Yeah,
exciting
let's do
events
it.
of today.
It
Yeah, we had a
reeked
photo
of
shoot,
LA today in the bar.
Yeah,
Oh, welcome to South by
The
Southwest.
people
Yeah.
were way too good looking to be in here.
Yeah,
For
Well,
one.
the cool
You're
thing
too
was,
handsome to be here, sir.
it was Linklater thing, which
Yeah.
is neat. His new movie that is coming out.
It was a scene for the movie?
Yeah.
Or was just
They were doing a photo
Just
shoot of the
promo,
whole
man.
cast and him raising
Oh,
a
it's
glass
for,
or
like,
Which
something.
means it's
Entertainment
like they
Weekly.
chose the
Entertainment
bar because it's a cool bar. So are we going to be in Entertainment Weekly?
Yes,
See, there you go.
and I mean we personally, but yeah, the picture they were going to use
wait,
for it.
I'm not going to be in Entertainment Weekly. Is that what you're saying?
You're not good looking enough.
But I was
What
reading
the
about this movie
fuck?
that's coming out, and it says it's considered a spiritual sequel to Days of
Yeah.
Confused,
I've seen the preview
which is
for
pretty
it.
cool. Like,
I've seen the preview for it.
What's,
Anybody
you
seen
have?
the
the
preview?
title of the
What's the
film?
name of it?
it's called Everybody Wants Some.
I like Days of Confused. I like Richard Linklater, and it's hard to judge a movie by its preview because previews can be awful. And I'll keep it down as much as possible. But it looked cheesy as fuck.
But yeah, you're right though. Like trailers that look bad, the movie usually turns out to be good.
It happens all the time.
No. That dynamic works for comedy.
Well, is it a comedy? I mean,
It's hard to say
Yeah,
exactly what
it's
it
like,
is.
It's like Dazed and Confused was.
It
It's not
also-
a comedy.
well, that's what I'm
right.
saying. Like his whole thing about like when it comes to comedy movies, if the trailer's bad, you can kind of expect that the movie will be good. If the trailer's funny and makes you laugh,
Do you remember that? I always think of that.
it's probably a bad movie.
Desperate Measures. You remember that movie, Desperate Measures, starring
No.
Michael Keaton, where Michael Keaton has the organ. He's the organ match for this cop's son, and he's trying to move this crazy. And Michael Keaton plays this crazy criminal. It's a terrible, terrible movie. Preview of it,
heard of it.
fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
It is so good. And I remember, so you just never know. You can't trust previews. And you certainly can't go see movies because of actors.
Well, I like Desperate Measures.
It's terrible. You have terrible taste in film.
I love every Michael Keaton
I love
film.
Michael Keaton. You don't remember Michael Keaton? He's like super ripped, and he's like lifting those bags of water to like work out, and nobody knows that because it's a shit film.
And that
Great preview.
segues into the rest of the show, which we're just going to talk about multiplicity
Fuck yeah.
for the rest of the time here. Hi, Steve. Steve's not here, but
I like the stupid one.
hi,
I think
Steve.
this. See,
Hey, Steve.
yeah, that time period was not. Michael Keaton got burned out. Literally, multiplicity is the best fucking like metaphor for what happened to Michael Keaton's career at the time. Was that he just kept spitting out these pieces of crap, and it like everybody hated Michael Keaton. He had to go into hiding for 10 years, and we all welcome you back with open arms, Michael Keaton.
We missed you.
Birdman.
He's one of my favorite actors now.
Birdman was
Come
amazing.
on the podcast, Michael.
Yeah, we'd like to have you,
You
Michael.
can sit on Rob's lap.
We'll pour you a beer. Free beer for Michael Keaton. You come in a hole in the wall anytime. I pay your tab.
Yeah, that's what he needs.
Yeah, that's exactly
He needs
what
our
it is.
financial support.
Yes.
So what are we going to talk about now?
Multiplicity.
Oh yeah, multiplicity.
Let's go to the notes. We can talk about...
Let's go to the nose.
I don't know if anyone...
We get smoke in here,
It's
right?
going to be a segment called The Whole Story, which... Actually, I noticed that it says on our website, but if anyone has... I'm going to ask guests to just think of a hole-in-the-wall story, or I'm going to find guests that have a hole-in-the-wall
Relay
story.
stories. I haven't really thought about that.
I can't remember any of my hole-in-the-wall stories.
Yeah, I think we've already determined that.
I
I'm just a really
remember-
bad
yeah.
storyteller, so I don't want to
I
tell stories.
remember, and Rob was involved with the story. I remember Rob falling on his face in the bar.
That never.
Well, that was like a week ago.
God, what
and the
crazy.
week before that. And the week before that.
You don't remember it, Rob.
That's what the people
I
wanna
remember.
hear.
I remember. I had a black eye.
I remember it was just, I was mid-sentence. Oh, it was right when David Bowie, that was the funniest part is,
Oh, yeah,
right
that's
when
what
I
did it.
found
David
out,
Bowie died and
I
I
flipped on my
collapsed.
Facebook, and I turned around and I said, David Bowie just died, and Robert blacks out, and somebody was like, he fainted because of David Bowie dying. And I was like,
Absolutely,
no.
man. No, that's what it was, Jeremy. That's what it was.
That's so glam rock.
That is a good, there you go. That is a good story.
Don't say Bowie, man.
You loved David Bowie so much you fainted.
Yeah.
There were some tears, and one man fainting.
Some things...
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say, some things we want to talk about. We want to plan the next hole-in-the-wall event, like the luau or the
Is that what's
Hell's
next?
Prom. I don't have anything to say about that at this
I'm
moment.
still upset we missed Pajamuary.
Well, we could still
Our
do-
orgy that we were going to throw.
We can still do pajama party.
No, but Pajamuary only comes one time a year, man.
Yeah.
We could do
the
Pajamuary in
That's
June.
great. I think we should.
Oh, here's one thing we should talk about. Let's talk about banging bingo.
Oh, fucking Pocky James.
Guys.
Jeremy, you're kind of a behind-the-scenes guy. I've never actually seen you at Bangin' Bingo.
I don't go to Bang and Bingo.
What is Bangin' Bingo?
Yeah.
Y'all talked about Bang and Bingo last time, right?
No, we didn't.
Do you want to explain it? Or do you want...
Yeah, sure. Bangin' Bingo is bingo. Okay, go for it.
It's just bingo with this fucking asshole, Pocky James McGillicuddy.
Tri-state bingo champion.
Whatever the fuck
1993?
that means. Yeah. It like it's hard to win a bingo, or it takes talent in winning bingo. Whatever. I don't come to Bang and Bingo. I don't have anything to do with Pocky James McGillicuddy because I've known the man too long. He has taken too much from me, and he still, to this day, does not know who I am.
Pocky takes it very seriously, but it is a comedy. It's more of a comedy show than it is a bingo show, really. Because
But he says so many hurtful things, though.
He's
Right.
such an asshole.
But
I
it's-
mean, I don't,
He's a little racist. He's a little
little
hateful.
racist.
well, he sounds a little racist. I'm sure he's more than a little racist.
Yeah, he is awful. Yeah, he is a guy that seriously lives out of his Cutlass Supreme.
Define a little racist.
A little racist is a lot of racist.
Okay.
Any way you slice it.
He's seen a lot, and he's got people figured out.
Dude, the man has paid his dues. That is clear. But
Yeah, he's been touring around for something like 50 years.
It is there's one again.
I've seen him reduce people to tears, though. That's the thing. It's just
I've seen him walk an entire room.
it's not pretty.
Is he coming on the podcast?
I don't know. He texted me and he said he was going to be here,
See,
but
that's you got to let me know because I will not be here if Pocky James
all right.
McGillicuddy.
Well, I think he's on his way. So why don't you leave?
he's not going to show up now.
He's on his way.
I don't think so.
Why don't you step out? But we should say there is no gambling involved in Bangin' Bingo.
Of course not.
No cash involved whatsoever. It's purely for fun and laughs, and it helps Pocky feel better, and helps him afford his kitty litter and stuff like that.
Yeah, he has his 2 cats. Guy reeks of cat shit.
Well, and maybe we can help him kind of turn his head around a little bit.
See,
you know.
Well, Bo's moved out of his apartment. Maybe Pocket could move in.
I have taken Pocky into my couch, and he stole from me. He will steal from you. Do not let Pocky sleep on your couch.
Well, I think I hear him coming.
He's not here.
He's not here. There's no way.
Oh, what's...
Who's that? It's
Hey, it's Pocky! Come on in.
It's not even funny. I won't even be here if Pocky's here. I'm gonna fucking walk. I'll walk from this fucking podcast.
All right. Well, let me talk to him.
I'm not gonna be here.
Let me talk to him. If you want to leave, leave. Now we're in a corner.
It's
All right. Pocky said he doesn't want to.
Pocky's not it.
The death of a bit before our eyes. That was...
Oh my God. I mean, I guess I can
That
roll
loss
with
of
that.
momentum there was
I'm sorry.
palpable. That was palpable.
I want to improv with you, but I also don't want to do that.
Okay, I didn't know if you didn't want to do it
I'm
for the
sorry.
bit or if you didn't want to do it in real life.
Just both. That's
That was a no-buck.
Pocky is not coming.
All right, let's close the podcast out with a segment called I don't know what it's called yet.
Why we still hate Campbell?
Let's look at a review. Let's look at some reviews of Hole in the Wall. And we don't want to embarrass these people. We don't want to make us look like assholes because we're talking
we
shit
are.
about people with reviews. But I think some of the reviews of Hole in the Wall are funny.
Yelp is. Can we just embarrass?
Do
Can
the
we talk?
craft cocktail one.
Can we
I can't
talk
find it.
shit about Yelp in general? Is that
So,
okay?
well, let's explain for the listeners who may not know, even generally, what Hole in the Wall is. It's a dive bar. It's the second oldest. Maybe is the Broken Spoke a dive bar? It's the second oldest bar in Austin. Really.
No, Schultz's Garden. That's the oldest.
Oh, I
So
don't know what
Schultz's
that is.
Garden, yeah, Broken Spoke, and then this.
But anyway, it's got a lot of tradition, and it's a bar. We don't serve craft cocktails.
Yeah, we're whiskey and beer bar.
It's really a whiskey bar, but
We have more than that.
people
but
don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's also right across from campus, which means a lot of people consider it a college bar, even though it's not a college bar, really, especially now. I mean, a lot of people have stories of a lot of college students being in here, but we crack down on...
we don't play the games.
Yeah.
There's not a single stitch of burnt orange in the whole fucking bar.
Oh, that's a good review.
Well,
we
there's
should
a
find.
little bit on the Irish flag up front.
Well,
on
that's
the
just
ceiling.
coincidence. It's because we all drink
It's
whiskey.
not really a burnt orange.
Yeah.
Whatever, orange.
That's more of like a sunny
I think it's one of the best things about this bar is its proximity to the
Oh,
college
here's one.
and its shunning of the college.
Here's a review I've never read, but it's a 1-star review.
Oh, awesome.
Uh,
Love 1 stars.
I'm not even going to say the name, but whatever. The staff is so horribly rude! Exclamation mark. End of first paragraph.
Yes.
Let me go on record by stating that I used to love going to this bar and even recommend it to friends on several occasions. Never again. I stopped by last week to pick up a friend and decided to go in for one drink before heading to where we were going. Big mistake. As soon as I walked in and I noticed the door guy and proceeded as usual to take my ID out as I look really young and get carded every single place I go. I was about to walk away when he said, "Oh, it's a $5 cover tonight."
Oh my god.
To see live music? Oh,
But I just came in for one beer. Don't you realize that?
Perplexed, I looked around to the quite empty venue and asked if there's a band playing or something, and he said there would be, but about an hour or so later. I say, all right, and take my wallet back out, only to realize I didn't have any cash, so I turn over to him and tell him as such and ask if I could just join my friend for a drink before we leave, as we could not be staying for the show. Not because I'm stingy, because I am not.
Oh,
He
I
was
hope it was
very
me.
rude and said no and directed me to the nearest ATM. I said okay, and then asked if it was possible to get a drink with my card and get some cash back to pay, and he said, yeah, that's cool. I walked over to the
No,
bar.
it wouldn't.
That doesn't work.
That-
No, that's not a thing.
You can't
we don't,
do that.
Yeah, we don't do this here. I wonder who the door guy was, but
Wasn't me then.
It wasn't me. I wouldn't have let somebody do that.
it could have been anyone, and I'm sure she just misunderstood what they were trying to tell her, because there's never a cover in the back bar. And when we're charging a cover, the back bar is always free, so you can just walk around to the back bar and get out on the patio, drink in the back bar, and do whatever.
3 bars here at the whole.
Heroin.
3 bars.
Do heroin back.
Don't do
Don't
heroin.
do that.
No,
Don't
no.
do that.
Just don't do it in
No
jail.
heroin? Okay,
bad.
no heroin, but
It's great, but don't do it.
But don't
Unless
do
you
it.
find Courtney Love's hidden stash.
Oh, that's a
she
story
was
for
okay,
later.
I walked over to the bar and talked to the bartender about it, and she said, very rudely tells me I can just just can't do that. So I told her, the door guy said it was okay. They discuss it in front of me and tell me to go to the ATM or send me to the back bar. I walk out and approach the ATM only to find out it was out of service. I walk back into the bar and tell him he just kept being so rude, and it all now directs me to 7-Eleven down the street. I say, fuck it! Approach my friend and tell him what's going on. He closed the tab and we took our business elsewhere. The staff of this place clearly doesn't know how to treat customers. Management should be on top of it, as I'm sure this will drive other people away.
See, this is the
Sounds like that asshole doesn't know how to be a customer at a shitty dive bar.
This is the problem, is that people don't realize how cool the staff is here.
Yeah.
You know, like, we're just so cool.
Voted by Do512
as coolest
dive
staff.
bar staff in Austin.
I'm
That's
pretty
true,
sure
actually.
that's genuine. So she doesn't know what she's
I'm thinking,
talking about.
if the ATM outside the door was out of service,
Which
like,
happens.
It says like 7-Eleven down the street. 7-Eleven is like maybe 20 paces or 30 paces.
There's even an ATM to the
corner.
right in
Yeah,
front of the
over
taco
by-
place. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are
all over the
ATMs
place.
aplenty.
I gotta
on
say,
this
as
street.
a door guy, though, if I knew she wasn't staying for the bands and it was an hour before, I would have let her in.
Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to have a beer. You know,
Yeah, whatever,
Right.
yeah.
It might have been at a specific night.
It might have been a new door guy. That's what it sounds
It might have
like.
been a specific night where that we couldn't let anybody in or something. I don't know. But
Can we just ask her to come back? Let's just,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Yeah,
Could I
shoot
say
her a
something
text.
just
I know this
generally about
person.
Yelp? 'Cause,
Do you?
hearing
Oh,
that
no, I
review-
don't.
Oh,
Listen, Andrea G, you know, let us make it up to you. You can come back, hole in the wall anytime you
Oh,
want.
I'm sure she's going to listen to the
Pay the
podcast.
$5 cover
Come on
and
back.
and
Come on.
pay for your own drinks. Just bring some fucking money next time.
yeah, always go out to
Cash
bars with
is
cash,
king.
please.
But
That's-
I feel the need to say something
Yes,
here.
Mike,
about
you have
Yelp.
the floor.
Okay.
So check this out. Like, I don't know. I can't be the only one who feels this way. The opening line of this young lady's review is I want to go on record, and I don't understand how bitching on Yelp is going on record in any kind of meaningful way. You know what I mean? It's like standing in a, it's like you're not really.
There's a record.
There is a record.
there's an audio record.
I understand empirically how it's on record because it's on the internet, but I feel like I think people should write things down.
You think if it's going to go on record?
I do, and
Write a letter.
and have it notarized and so
Write a
forth.
letter,
I mean, just-
notarize it,
No,
sleep
that's
on
the
it.
most official.
Sleep
Sleep
on
on
it.
it.
You feel the same way the
This
next
is
day.
my point. Now you're getting to my point. It's because it's very quickly done, and it's just sort of like I'm going to go on record, and sort of like as if there was some some action that was taken when actually there was no action.
Right, and she kept saying that she was
Makes
treated
me feel
rudely, but didn't ever say like what.
She just didn't get her
what
way.
we said to
That's
her.
what. That's
And
what.
also, she was probably drunk,
me what I want. You're
and it is confusing. Our bar is confusing.
The world is confusing.
The way we
It's
run it
confusing
is
place.
kind of confusing because there's 3 different bars inside the bar. Also, we have a 4-star review on Yelp, which, in my opinion, is way too high.
It's way too. You're not that nice of it.
We're a 40-year-old dive bar that, I mean,
I just want to go on record as saying the Hole in the Wall is the greatest place I've ever been.
yeah, which by all means it shouldn't, I don't know, it shouldn't be for everyone. I like to think it is, but
It
not.
is what it is. Yeah.
if you're not used to this kind of place, you're not going to get it. But that being said, like, we have the nicest fucking staff ever, and I mean, if someone is being rude to you, it's probably because you were being drunk and belligerent, and they weren't actually being rude to you. They were just trying to be diplomatic, and you weren't getting it. But I love you, Andrea, and so does Jesus. So you've got that going for you.
We're terribly sorry, Andrea. I'd like to just apologize on behalf of the bar.
Yeah, that was
I'm not sorry.
You know, I would like to do what most people do when they get a bad Yelp review. Call them up, say, hey, can we make this up to you in some sort of way? And then bribe you either with money or with sexual favors to get your Yelp review off.
Yeah, aren't there services that you can like people pay money to?
That's
to
the
do
whole
that
point of
and
Yelp,
stuff?
yeah.
Like,
Yelp
that
will call
take
you.
stuff off.
Yelp will call
They
you,
can contact
your business. At a different place I worked at, they had really bad Yelp reviews. But well, I won't say anything. But we had not great Yelp reviews, maybe like a 2.5 star. And Yelp would call us like every week and be like, let's work together and we can, take care of your review and get it up there.
See, I hate that.
And so, but it was like you pay a premium service, so
It is.
it's basically corruption. It's not.
It's like the Sneetches thing too. Do you guys know this? You did the
Yeah.
Sylvester McMucky McBean with like
Starbelly Sneetches.
he comes into town, he gives everybody the stars, and then all of a sudden they don't want stars anymore. So he comes in and he provides the service
It's
to take
star
off the
removal.
stars. Yeah, star removal. It's the same.
We'll
kind of
save my favorite.
Everybody look up.
We'll save my favorite review for a different time, but I do want to close with this one, and then we can find that one about
What
the
the fuck?
before the green room collapses on us.
Someone throwing fucking toilet paper from back there. Are you back there, Andy?
Hey, we're working in here.
Jesus Christ.
We'll find that one about our craft cocktail suck, which is hilarious. But let's close with this one, which was about Josh Lowe, I think, which is amazing.
Who's Josh Lowe?
He's all right.
He's an angry young man.
He doesn't work here
So
anymore.
nobody listening to this podcast is going to have any context for this.
Josh
But
Lowe.
okay.
Josh Lowe.
He's
was
an ex-employee.
Okay.
This is this was on a game day. On game day, drunk people wander in here that have never been here before from the UT football game, which are huge.
Which we don't care about.
Yeah, and it's not a normal crowd, and they are just hammered drunk by the time they get here. And
You are far more likely to see kung fu on our TVs than football.
yeah. So here's this. The drunk ass bartender, 2 stars, sorry, 2 stars. The drunk ass bartender in the back, hella whooping like a fool, says the coat hangers suck. Fuck him, but big ups to the babes behind the front bar. Tell your shitty friend to get a clue and take his busted game day attitude to the flip-flop store while he'll be happier.
What the fuck?
That's poetry.
It is like it's like you have to just dissect that. Tell your shitty friend to get a
urban
clue
poetry.
and take his busted game day attitude. So basically, she's upset that he wasn't like pumped up that UT won.
Yeah.
He probably had no idea UT was
Yeah,
even
we didn't
playing.
even know they were playing, I'm sure.
Back to the flip-flop store, but it seems like
Flip-flops are being the co-op down the street.
yeah, but like it seems like she came from the flip-flop
She
store.
probably wasn't.
She did come
Well,
from
that's
the
what she's
flip-flop
saying is
store.
the flip-flop store is fantastic. You should think about going and improving your attitude.
Yeah, actually, we talked on the last episode about
This
flip-flops.
gets back to the socks. This is full circle here.
Anyway, yeah, hella whooping it like a fool. Sounds like a fun bar to hang out.
Yeah. Oh, whooping it like a fool, man.
Can we invite her back too? What is?
Oh, there's no way.
Tell her actually she's not invited back.
Yeah, you're not invited. Kate Art.
Kadar, fuck
Kate,
off.
you're out.
I'll see you at the
See, all
flip-flop
these
store.
people just need to come here and get some drinks and all fucking complain together.
Oh yeah. What if we could pull like a bad Yelp
get 'em on the
review
podcast.
night?
Kadar, you can come onto the podcast, and we'll look at your little pigtail. Bring your hella whooping fool ass
Hella whooping.
down here, and I'll buy you a drink,
Yeah. He likes your pigtails.
and I'll bully you into deleting a review. No, we don't actually care.
Right.
Like I said, our reviews are too high on Yelp. That's too.
4 stars is pretty fucking good.
All right, Chris. Closing comments.
Yeah, we gotta work.
Gotta go to work. Gotta go
All
smoke
right.
cigarettes.
This has been
Worse than the other episode.
worse than the other episode.
Is it worse?
Was it?
Was it that bad?
Greg, we're getting progressively worse.
This is good. We're definitely hitting on things what not to talk about in the real show.
Yeah, we're
No,
definitely
no.
we're definitely making America great.
You either invite Pocky or you don't invite Pocky. I don't think Pocky's just gonna show up halfway through an episode.
He's out.
He better not be, because I will punch him in the face.
He's drinking a Stella Artois.
He better be gone. He doesn't.
Hockey can't afford Stella. That's
You
bullshit.
can't even pronounce it.
He's up there drinking spilt beer out of the dog bowl.
He's doing like Bo used to do, and just collecting the dregs and pouring it into one glass.
Yeah. All right, Bobby Baen. Closing comments.
Oh yeah, comments. I don't have anything.
Jeremy. Closing comments.
Yo, man.
I'm feeding for smoke. That's my closing comment.
What?
He's fiending for a smoke.
Don't smoke, kids.
Yeah. Don't. Smoking's bad for
No,
you.
kids, smoke cigarettes. You'll be so much cooler.
And Nicolai. Closing comments.
Turn over a new leaf every day.
That's a good one. Man. That's pathetic.
Way to make us look
What about
like
you,
assholes.
I just shed a courtesy tear on that one. Call That's what we need more
Yeah,
of.
we need more callbacks. You gotta have more podcasts to have more callbacks.
Like, subscribe, and share. You can't do that. This doesn't even exist anywhere. But maybe it will. And when it does, do those things and hashtag us and whoop it up.
Later, guys.
See you at the flip-flop
We'll see you at
store.
Hole in the Wall. See you at the fucking flip stop.